Hey everybody, this is Derek from the Grumpy Guy Show talking about episode number 78, You Just Can't Fix Stupid. Recorded on Tuesday, January 17th, 2023. Tonight's topics: people showing just how bad they are at their jobs in overplayed commercials. Stick around, it's a good episode. Good evening everybody, welcome to the Grumpy Guy Show. I'm Derek McAllister.
And I'm Ryan McAllister.
So we got a packed show tonight. Who knows? Maybe we'll get through everything. But we'll see. So why don't we just get started, just in case I end up having speech problems again. Still having some issues with the end of my tongue, but we're getting there. So I've got two topics dealing with EMTs this week. Yep. And, one of them is local. The other one is has become national now. So let's start out with that one. So what I wrote down as the topic is EMTs not doing what they signed up for. So basically what happened is the police were called, or 911 was called, something along those lines, regarding somebody. And, when the police got there, they realized that they needed some medical assistance for this gentleman. Mm-hmm. They weren't sure whether he was drunk, high, whatever, or, if there was something else going on with him. They just plain didn't know. And, of course, they're police officers. They're not trained medical staff. So they called for, for medical people to come in. So these two EMTs got there, and, the lady was very, very rude to the gentleman. Get up, I'm not helping you. What? We're not helping you. We're not doing this. So then, after a few moments, the police officers helped the gentleman up, who could not stand on his own. He was very weak and having a difficult time just plain moving.
Oh.
So then they got him out to the stretcher, and the medical people, the EMTs, who are trained for medical things, decided to put him face down on the gurney.
Oh. That doesn't sound correct.
No, it's not correct. And in fact, based on the coroner's autopsy, he died from asphyxiation, which means he couldn't breathe because his face was in the gurney.
Was face down towards the gurney.
Yeah. And I can't believe... I can't believe somebody would do that to begin with, but especially somebody who's medically trained. They were so dead set against helping this guy. And, based on my perspective of things, I think it was a racially motivated thing. Both the EMTs were white and this gentleman was black. And they just treated him with such disregard, it's not even funny. This is not the way that humans are supposed to react towards other humans.
That explains a lot.
Unless you truly are racist, and this is racially motivated. It's not like they were joking around or anything. They were very rough with him. When they put him on the gurney, they pretty much threw him on the gurney. And then... on top of that, they strapped him down. And the male EMT, you could see him really, really pulling hard on the straps.
Oh.
Normally they strap you in, but it's more just to make sure that you don't roll out or something along those lines. They really cranked down. This guy had no ability whatsoever to move. And all I could think was, why? Seriously, why? If you are racist, then don't sign up to be an EMT. Mm-hmm. Simply put, either that or go someplace where there are no people, of different races than yours.
Which is pretty hard to find.
Exactly. You know, that kind of stuff isn't tolerated here in the U.S. And I am,
Especially if you're working in the city.
yeah, and I was so glad to hear that they're being brought up. These EMTs are being brought up on murder charges.
Good.
You know, and I really truly hope that they get convicted. You
Mm-hmm.
know, what
They
kills
should be
me,
in jail.
yeah, what kills me is the fact that the company they work for hasn't made a statement one way or the other yet. And all I can think is the entire company racist?
Huh.
Is that kind of behavior okay with them? I mean, come on. You know,
Perhaps it is.
I just find it really, really hard to believe that any company would not only tolerate something like that, but would, would not comment and say, hey, that's not us. That's not how we operate.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately fire them. I'm sure they have been fired, but, it's just nuts.
I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Yeah, yeah. But so I said the first two topics kind of went hand in hand. They're both about EMTs.
Yep.
So the second topic, which is local,
Okay.
is about somebody who got pulled over for DWI, or not pulled over for DWI. Excuse me. They ran into a guardrail or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And the officer, who happened to be a county cop, was just going about routine stuff. They kind of thought the person was intoxicated, so did a field sobriety test. And suddenly, during the middle of everything, this person's brother shows up.
Oh.
Her brother, who is a
This is interesting.
Syracuse police officer, an on
Mm-hmm.
duty Syracuse police officer,
Uh-huh.
going well outside of the city.
Oh.
Yeah. Went
Ruh-roh.
there. Yeah, he went there and he was trying to convince the officer not to not to complete the paperwork or anything like that. And then he started giving his sister advice on how to get out of this and how to make it out so that it was the cop's fault and the cop was in trouble.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, so this is where the EMT part of it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So, she failed the field sobriety test and needed to go to the hospital. Number one, to get fully checked out for running into the guardrail, make sure she didn't have a concussion or anything like that. But number two, for a blood alcohol test, like an actual one beyond a breathalyzer.
Yep.
Yeah, so on the way to the hospital, one of the EMTs admitted to giving her 2 full bags of saline to lower the blood alcohol content of her.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm like, why?
That's a good question. Why?
Did he know her? Does he know her brother, the police officer? Did her brother offer something to him? Some kind of compensation, whether it was financial or...
Is this another sibling?
They haven't said that, so I doubt that it is. But, if it's a family friend or something like that, you're not going to hear about that right away. But, all I can think is, oh my God. So he actually admitted to doing that. They never stated why. But my question is, why would you do that? I mean, seriously, you're an EMT. You see people who are injured from drunk drivers all the time. And now you decide you're going to go and help somebody who's obviously drunk avoid being charged? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
The funniest possible outcome to me for this would be if the EMT was either the drunk lady's boyfriend or the cop's boyfriend.
Yeah, I don't know, and the worst part is apparently he's a fairly new officer in the city, as in
Oh,
he's only been on the force for a couple of years, and I'm just like,
interesting.
but they at first they failed to mention that he was on duty, you know, so I'm like, okay, yeah. When they said that, I was like, wow, so he just completely left his job to go out of the city in his cruiser. So it's not like he, stopped back and got his own personal vehicle. No, he just drove the police cruiser out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, holy crap. And of course,
Dude.
what kills me is, I mean, I understand, I understand how it works when it comes to working with a union. They can't just plain fire him, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they'd like to do, but, they have to follow proper procedures. And so he's on administrative leave is what they call it. And I'm like, holy cow. And it's bad when the police union won't even comment. So
Ruh-roh.
that means he's beyond, he's been there long enough to be beyond probation. So in theory they have to defend him, in theory,
In
unless,
theory.
yeah, I mean, there are circumstances in which case they do not. They're probably, honestly, they're probably reviewing whether or not this is one of those circumstances where they do not and should not defend him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, what, I don't know at what level they would, you know do that, but seriously, I don't get it. Why would you put your job in jeopardy? You're supposed to protect the people, and here you are just worrying about your drunk sister.
Yep.
What
That's
would
just
he have
sad.
done? What would he have done if she killed somebody? Maybe instead of running into a guardrail, she killed somebody. What would he do? Would he do the same thing? If the answer is no, then should he really truly be a cop? My answer to that is no, shouldn't be.
No. Not at all.
But but again, it goes right back to the EMT. I mean, why in the world?
Did you sign up for this?
Yeah, if this is what you're gonna do, I mean, they haven't said if she was severely dehydrated and which is possible. It's very possible that she was extremely dehydrated, and that's why he was giving the saline, was to rehydrate her. They didn't say that. They said that he admitted to giving her 2 bags of saline to lower her blood alcohol level. It's an overall bad situation, and the saddest thing is EMTs are getting more and more difficult for these companies to find. They're having a harder and harder time filling these positions, you know, and you get EMTs like this that are willing to compromise what they became an EMT for. We're in a world we're in for a world of hurt.
I think we are anyway, knowing where our politicians are going.
Yeah, but I mean this really has nothing to do with politics. I mean
It doesn't, but
this is
we were
literally,
in for a world of hurt anyway.
yeah, but this is even worse because they're gonna, this guy wasted 2 bags of saline on this, and that means in a situation where he truly needs that saline, he may not have it,
Mm-hmm.
all because of some stupid thing like this. I don't know. I guess maybe that's just my moral stand. Is I wouldn't even think of doing something like this, but
Save it for someone who needs it more.
Yeah. You know, I don't know. Just, uh, just something really stupid.
Hmm.
So anyway, we say we go to the next topic.
What we got?
So I know we've talked about commercials before, and maybe we've actually talked
Yay.
about this topic. I don't know. You know, I didn't look. I really haven't been paying much attention to things the last week. So you know, topics were it seemed kind of slim pickings, but yeah,
Hmm.
this one just really bugs me.
Yep.
So you know, we sit there and we're watching TV and we see like the same 10 ads over and over again. You know, six of them are for, or, you know, five, like six or seven of them are either lawyers, insurance, or car sales. And then the other ones are repeats of things that really truly don't make any sense. So ED meds. You know, I mean, I know we've talked about ED meds before, but
Hmm.
you know, and I get that these, you know, over the air television isn't going to give you targeted ads. So, you know, they're just playing the ad. It's not targeted towards anybody.
Yep.
But it's the same commercial they've been playing for over 2 years. And
Yeah.
all I can think is, oh my God, you're spending
That's why
so
I don't
much
watch
money.
regular TV that often.
Yeah,
That's why I only watch it for live sports,
but,
and that's it.
but you know, they're I mean, this is even in the news, during the news, you know?
Hmm.
And it's just, it's literally the same commercial. And the problem is, it costs so much money. There's so much overhead for production of these things that they don't have a choice but to run the same commercial for 2, 3, 4 years. It doesn't
Hey,
matter that it's
remember when we
stale.
were in South Carolina in 2020 and we got the same Michael Bloomberg ad 3 times in a row, back to back to back. Now that was funny.
Yeah, you know, and
And the funnier thing is he didn't even win the South Carolina primary.
well,
He
that's why
didn't
he
even
was
come close,
advertising so heavy.
which makes it so comedic.
Yeah, but I mean,
His campaign was a miserable failure, and I love it.
you know, you see the lawyer commercials and it's like, oh, I get the most money, and it's the same commercial over and over again.
Hmm.
You know, oh, winter it's free, winter it's free. Come on, you know, it's like seriously, people.
At least William Mattar does like 4 different ads playing at at once.
Yeah, I mean, he's one that is, you know, he does have different ads that he runs, and he
Hmm.
doesn't run them for a super long time. You know, maybe like 6 months, but you know, some of these other ones, it's the exact same ad, and they've run it for well over a year.
Hmm.
You know, and I mean, this one lawyer, he introduces his son as the latest generation. And I'm like, all right,
Who cares?
but he's been introducing him as the latest generation for over a year now. I mean, come on.
Hmm.
Yeah, we met him a year ago when you first ran the ad. You're not introducing him. You know, and then these car commercials with their, oh, this brand is so great. Or, you know, come on over to this part of our dealership and get this brand. This brand is so much better. You know, come on.
Hmm.
If they stopped spending so much money advertising, they could cut the price of vehicles drastically. I mean,
That would be
seriously, you know,
nice.
you look at it, you look at how much they spend. I mean, some of these commercials, you know, have got to cost them a couple of $1 million. Well, instead of doing that, you know, and that's just to reduce the stupid ad. That's not airtime for it. So instead of spending so much, And, I mean, cut the cost of the vehicles, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, what do I know? You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Again, it's the reason why I rarely watch regular TV. I only watch it for live sports.
Yeah.
And even then, half of what I watch is NASCAR, and well, on both networks that carry NASCAR, they play the same two ads
Yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah.
More so on the Fox portion than the NBC portion, which I am really excited about. I've heard on Twitter that Burger King's got a new really annoying ad that plays constantly, so I'm excited about that.
I don't know. I mean, most of the time I don't pay attention to the ads, but you get those ones that are just really, really annoying, and you just gotta mute it because it's just so annoying.
Oh my god, yes. I'm having a flashback to this spring whenever I'm watching the race. They played the same Geico ad like 4 times per break.
Mm-hmm.
At least.
Yeah. But.
And it was pretty annoying. Scoop, there it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know.
I have that whole song memorized. Unfortunately.
You know, I get that they've spent a lot of money and whatnot, but
I hate that I'm nostalgic for that commercial.
Yeah, the bigger problem is, like I said, these, you know, even these broadcasters charge too much for these ads, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the reason that you get so much. Which means that
only the same 3 companies can advertise.
Yeah, and you look at it, and most ads are national ads because, you know, the local companies just can't afford to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, yes, it's local
Except
companies.
Except for on local stations.
Well, even on local stations, most of the ads that you're seeing are national things. The ones that you're seeing that are local are the ones that can afford a big ad budget, like lawyers and car dealerships. But the thing with car dealerships is most of the time they're getting their money from the manufacturer. So if you're seeing a Toyota commercial for your local Toyota dealer, you're probably, you know, they're probably getting a lot of that supplemented by Toyota. You know, I don't know. It's just, it's really ridiculous because you don't get to see a whole lot of products that are out there. You get to see a very small subset because, you know, they're the only ones that can afford it. You know, and it'd be a whole lot different. Like, what is that show? Shark Tank. You know, that'd be kind of interesting to watch. You know, to see new products, but it's not about actually showing you new products. It's about, you know, the drama and how much money these 4 billionaires are going to make off of helping this person, you know, grow their business. They're not worried about helping this person. They're worried about making money.
No, they're not.
You know, and it's, I don't know. It's really sad that that's how it is. I mean, that's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
But, all right. So what do you say we get to the last topic?
All right. What's this one?
So, this one, the title of the topic is, Was It Loaded?
Oh.
So there's a video going around, and yeah, we first saw it right after, well, the local news does a 4 to 4:30 broadcast, and then they take a half an hour break, and then they do 5 to 6:30. I don't know why they have an extra half an hour, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So in between
local
there,
news does not need that.
No.
What? How long is it?
It's like 2
hour and a half.
They didn't need the hour and a half. They definitely didn't need the extra half an hour, because they repeat the same topics every half an hour.
And the world news is too short.
Yeah, yeah,
That's only a half an hour.
yeah. But at any rate, so after, so in that 4:30 to 5 time slot, there's some entertainment news show, or I don't remember what the heck it's actually called, but yeah. So I was sitting
Inside
there.
Edition.
Maybe, I don't know, but I was sitting there just before I got up to go make dinner, and I saw this stupid thing. They're showing this video of some 4-year-old walking around in like the little vestibule area of their apartment building with a gun. Like
Oh.
a real gun. Somebody's video doorbell camera caught it, and the freaking reporters asking this guy, says, "Was it loaded?" Now before
Are you
he
sure
said
that's
that,
the question you should be asking?
before he asked that question, it showed the kid pulling the trigger. You hear it click, 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 click. I'm like, all right, I'm not a firearms expert, but you pull the trigger, generally speaking, it shoots.
And if it doesn't, then it's probably not loaded.
Yeah. And I'm like, did you watch the video? Or are you just blindly doing this interview? Just to, I gotta make it dramatic. And I'm like, are you serious?
Well,
Again.
All news broadcasts are about drama.
Yeah, I mean, in this case,
That's
it
why
is.
you never get good news.
In this case, it is, an entertainment news thing. So, yeah. It's not real news. So making everything dramatic is, it's their thing. But I'm just like, watch the video before you ask questions about this crap. I mean, seriously. And I'm like, holy crap. Just a little bit of investigation. That's all it takes. A little tiny bit. It's not like it takes a ton. A little bit. I mean, it was like a 2-minute video. If you can't take 2 minutes to watch this video that you're going to interview somebody about, then you really don't deserve your job. I mean, that's literally all I can think is, if you can't watch this video, you really truly don't deserve your job. And again, folks,
do your research before you do the interview.
Again, I am far from a firearms expert. Maybe it could be loaded and he could be pulling the trigger like crazy and it won't fire. I'm not positive, but the fact that he's sitting there pulling the trigger, even if it was loaded and it won't fire, what's the difference if it's loaded? The kid's walking around with a real gun. Not a fake gun, a real gun. Pointing
Either way,
pointing it at doors.
Parents aren't all that great at parenting.
He's like pointing at doors, pointing it at his own head, and apparently somebody was coming up the stairs and he pointed the gun at them, said, "Look at what I got." And I'm like, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, and, kind of to go back to your comment there, you said parents. His parents are divorced. He was with his father. His mother had no idea.
Well.
Yeah.
Might be time to take custody then.
Yeah, she doesn't have to worry about it. She doesn't have to worry about it because he's been arrested for child endangerment or something along those lines. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, but apparently he said, "No, we don't have any guns here." and as the cops were leaving, the lady who had the video and called 911 brought her phone out and showed the video to the police. To say, yeah, they got guns there. So they went back in and yeah.
Lo and behold, they found the guns.
Oh, you know how they found the gun? The little boy took him to it. He said, "Yeah, I put it back where it was." Went back to a roll-top desk.
Not the smartest guy.
Yeah, he went back to a roll top desk, opened it up, and there was the gun. I'm like, oh my god. So then it turns out that it wasn't his gun, it was his brother's gun, and his brother keeps it there. I'm like, okay, you've got a child, and you're just letting your brother leave a gun unlocked at a level where your child can easily get it.
You are not a very smart individual.
No. But, I don't know. I'm just like, whatever. Not my problem, you know? I mean, they just... you can't fix stupid.
You can't.
And that's really where it comes down to. Or what it comes down to. But...
Because if you could we probably would have fixed it by now.
Yeah, definitely. But all right,
anyway,
folks, you probably heard the music starting up in the background.
That means good night.
We'll see ya.